Hello everyone, my name is Masha and today I'm going to teach you how to make this chevron bracelet. Now, the chevron bracelet looks like this. It is a bracelet in the shape of an arrow, sort of like a V shape. This is the pattern that I recommend beginners should make. To people who have never made bracelets before in their lives, I really do think that this bracelet is the perfect introduction to friendship bracelets. So in this tutorial, I'm going to go from the beginning to end with you to help you understand how to make this bracelet. Before we start, I just want to mention that my videos are made possible by the generous support of my patrons, such as Sunshine and Lisa. And if you too want to become a patron and help support this channel, as well as get exclusive perks like a patron-only bracelet competition and access to our private Discord server, the link to my Patreon is down in the description. But for now, let's get into the video. You can use as many colors as you like and whatever colors that you like. You just have to keep in mind that the more strings you use, the wider your bracelet is going to be and the longer it's going to take you to make it. I'm going to be using these 4 colors today. So you can start and finish your bracelet however you want, and I have a whole separate playlist on different starts and finishes to friendship bracelets, but I personally today am going to be doing the simplest loop you could possibly do. So if you're doing a loop like me, I suggest you cut each string to be about 1.5 meters. That way when you fold it, it's going to be about 75 centimeters long. If you're not going to be doing a loop, if you do some other type of closure, you can cut the strings to be 75 centimeters long. But once again, since I am doing the loop, since I'm folding the string, I have to double it, so it's going to be about 1.5 meters. As I mentioned before, I have a whole separate playlist on different closures that includes different types of loops, but today I'm going to be doing the most simple type of loop that you can possibly do. So you've got to fold your string and you have to make sure that all the ends meet on the other side. That way you know you've folded the string directly in half, and then you choose a point where you want your loop to start, and at that point you make a simple knot. Just like that. We're not doing anything fancy today, just a simple loop to start off your bracelet. Now, if you've watched my beginner's guide video, you would have seen me talk about how there are different ways of securing your bracelets to the workspace. Now today I'm using a pillow, and I'm going to be using a safety pin to put through the loop and secure it onto my pillow. Now this is how I usually do it. I do one small incision with the safety pin and I bring it back out. I then put the loop here through, and I do one incision in between the loop and bring it back out, and then I do one last incision after the loop. Bring it back out and secure the safety pin. That way my loop is nice and secure underneath the safety pin. So you're going to start your chevron by sorting the string. Now I want my red string to be the first that appears in the bracelet, so I'm going to sort one red string to the right and one red string to the left. I then want the blue to appear in my bracelet, so I'm going to put one blue to the right and the other to the left. Next I want the yellow. And last but not least, the green. So you want your strings to be exactly symmetrical on the left and on the right in the order that you want them to appear in your bracelet. Now the reason that I recommend the chevron as the first bracelet for you to make if you are a beginner is because the chevron uses both forward and backward knots. So the entire left half is made up of forward knots and the entire right half is made up of backward knots, which makes the V shape. That way when you're making the chevron, you practice both backward and forward knots at the same time, getting used to both of them simultaneously so you don't end up being more comfortable with doing one over the other. Now if you are completely new and you don't know how to do basic knots, I do recommend that you watch my basic knots tutorial. It's going to be linked in the card and in the description down below for you to check out. However, I am going to be showing you how to do the knots today as well, just saying that if you do want more of an in-depth tutorial, I do have that available for you as well. So we're going to start by focusing on the left side, so I'm going to put the right side away, and I'm going to bring the left side closer in. So the left side, as I said before, is pretty much only forward knots. So I'm going to start by taking the first string, which for me is the red, and the second string, which is the blue, and I'm going to be making a forward knot between them. A forward knot is a knot with the string on the left onto the string on the right that brings the string on the left to the right. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that now. I grab my string that I'm making the knot onto, which is this blue one. I grab the other string, which I'm making the knot with, and I put the red string onto the blue string, making the shape of a 4. I then need to pull this red string through the loop. So I usually do that by putting my finger inside the loop, then under the blue string like this, grabbing the red string with my nail and twisting it over and pulling it through. And then I tie the knot up. Now that is 1/2 of a forward knot. To complete the knot, I need to do the exact same thing again. So again, putting the red string over the blue string like that, making the shape of a 4, putting my finger inside, under, twisting the string through, and pulling it up. As you see now, the red string has moved from the left to the right. That is what a forward knot does. It moves the string from left to right. Now I'm going to put the blue string onto the side. I'm still focusing on the red string. I'm going to grab the next one, which is the yellow one in my case, and I'm going to do a forward knot with the red string onto the yellow string. So doing the same thing as I did before. The red string goes on top of the yellow string like so. I put my finger inside the loop, under the string, pull the red string through, tie the knot, and then I do the exact same thing again, completing the knot. Now the string has moved from left to right again. The red string is now on the right. I put these two strings on the side since I've already made knots onto them. I grab the next string, which is the green, and I do the exact same thing, a forward knot with the red string onto the green string. And there goes 1/2. And there goes the other half. There we go. The entire left side is done. We now put all of these 4 strings to the left so that they're not in the way, and I bring these strings back. Since I moved them away, they have already messed up again, so I'm going to sort them out by color as well. So I had the red string go first, then I had the blue, then the yellow, then the green. So we're going to be doing the exact same thing on this side, but we're going to mirror it. So instead of doing a forward knot, we're doing a backward knot, which is exactly the same, but a mirror image of the forward knot. So again, grabbing the red string and the blue string, I'm going to be doing a backward knot this time. So I'm holding the blue string, I'm putting the red string onto the blue string as well, but this time it's not in the shape of a 4, it's in the shape of the inverted 4. I put my finger into the loop, under the string, grab the red string with my nail, twist it and pull it through. And I tie the knot, and then I do exactly the same thing one more time. I put the red string onto the blue string, put my finger in the loop, under the string, twist it out and pull it through, completing the knot. Now I'm putting the blue string off to the side. Since I'm done with that, I grab the next string, which is my yellow string, and I do a backward knot onto this one as well, just like I did there before. So again, red string goes on top of the yellow string, my finger goes inside the loop, under the string, pulls the red string up and through, and then up again. And I do the second half of the knot exactly the same, pulling it through like that as well. Yellow string goes off to the side, I grab the green string, which is next, and the same thing happens here. The red string goes on top of the green string, and like so. I pull it through and I make the knot. The most important thing for the first row especially is to not get your strings mixed up. So you want to have them in the exact order that you wanted them to be from the beginning. Now the last step, as we have moved both of the red strings into the center from the sides, as you remember they were out on the sides at the beginning, they are now both in the middle in the center. We need to do a knot between them. Now when we have 2 strings of the exact same color as we have here, we have 2 red strings, they're exactly the same, we can do any type of knot between them. Forward, backward, or backward, forward, it really doesn't matter. Since they're exactly the same color, the knot is going to come out looking the exact same. I'm going to do a forward knot just because that is something that I'm most comfortable with. Now there we go, the first row of our bracelet is complete. It does look a little bit messy, but that is because it comes straight after the knot and it is a little bit bunched up. If you want to avoid that bunching up, if you don't like how that looks, you might want to look into different starts and closures. I recommend maybe the basic loop, because this isn't the best type of closure for your bracelets. But that is also a personal preference. If you don't mind, that is also completely fine. So, next row of your bracelet is literally the exact same. Obviously, the red string is now in the center, but you do the same thing with the next string. So I'm going to focus on the left side for now. I've got the blue string that is now out off to the side, and I'm going to be doing forward knots with the blue string onto each individual string here and onto the red string as well. Now that it's moved, it is in the center, I'm going to be making a forward knot onto that as well. So taking the blue string, I do a forward knot onto the yellow string. I do a forward knot onto the green string as well. Then onto the red string. That was quick. Now I'm focusing on the right side. I move that off to the left and I go one by one. First, a backward knot onto the yellow string. Then onto the green string. And onto the last string, which is the red string. And then last but not least, a knot between the two blue strings. And I'm going to be doing a forward knot here. So there we go, we've completed the row with the blue string. So you're literally going to continue doing that, taking the outermost string, doing forward knots individually on each string on the left, then taking the outermost string on the right, doing backward knots onto each of these strings individually on the right, and then a knot between the two strings in the middle. And you're going to continue doing that row by row, color after color, until the bracelet reaches the length that you want. And the typical bracelet length is somewhere between 14 to 18 centimeters. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to finish this bracelet and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, so I do have a beginner's mistakes video where I talk about all of this stuff, but since it happened to me while I was knotting this bracelet, I thought I would show you as well. You can see here that a color popped through on my knot. This was meant to be a backward knot with the yellow string onto the blue string, but something happened and the blue string popped through. This is something that happens quite a lot and is very common and can happen to you. And all you need to do when this happens is pull on the string that is popping through. So for me, it is the blue string. Very difficult to do with one hand since I'm holding the camera right now. You just need to pull. There you go, you just needed to pull on the string. That probably didn't film very well, but I pulled on the string and the color popped through, you might have heard it. And the string is back to normal. And if you notice this on time, as I noticed it here, as I just made the knot and I noticed that the color popped through, if you notice it on time and you pull the string out on time, then you won't have any issues and your bracelet will turn out looking fine. But if you don't notice it, it's going to stay there and you have to undo a couple of knots to get back to it and undo it. So yeah, I'm going to continue making this bracelet and I'll be back with you once I'm done. Alright, now that I've finished my bracelet, I want to make two simple braids for the ties. So since I have 4 colors, I'm going to have 2 in one strand and 1 color of each in the other strand to make my braid. And you make the braid by putting 1 strand into the center, just like that. And then once you reach the end, you do a simple knot. And then you cut off the excess string. Now I don't have a lot of string left over, I can't really do anything with it, so I'm going to throw it away. But if you do have more string left over than what I had, I suggest you keep it because you can reuse it in future projects, such as alpha patterns. Now I'm going to do another tie on the right side and I'll get back to you once that's done. And there you have it, the bracelet is finished. Now how you tie this bracelet is you put one of the ties through the loop, like so, and then you tie it onto the other one by doing one knot and then maybe a double knot like that, securing the bracelet. That way it won't untie. So yeah, that's how you make the basic chevron bracelet. And as I said, this is the bracelet that I recommend you try for the first time if you've never made bracelets before. I think this makes a great first bracelet because not only is it pretty cute looking, you're also learning both of the main types of knots to make friendship bracelets. So you can go on to do more difficult bracelets in the future. Now, if you need more help in your learning journey, I do suggest that you watch my beginner's guide video because I talk about a lot of different things in there and I show you a bunch of different resources that you as a beginner can use to learn more about bracelets. I also have a bunch of beginner tutorials up on my channel and I'll leave a link to the playlist down in the description if you want to check it out. But overall, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something new from it. If you ever make anything based on any of my videos, I always love to see your guys' creations. So if you ever post to Instagram, don't forget to tag me in the post so I can see them. Once again, I want to give a special shout out to all of my patrons, especially to Sunshine and Lisa. And if you also want to become a patron, there is a link in the description. This is the best way to support the channel and also get exclusive patron-only perks. So, thank you very much for watching. I post videos on Wednesdays and Sundays, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye!